You've probably already watched the Cars on the Road series on Disney+, but maybe you don't remember all the details, so today I'm going to refresh your memory, right here on Cine Lovers. In the very first episode, Lightning McQueen is training on the dirt track in Radiator Springs when Mater shows up and says he's hitting the road to go to his sister's wedding. McQueen is totally confused. Not just him, everyone in Radiator Springs is surprised, but also happy. So that Mater wouldn't go alone, McQueen decides to go with him, but McQueen wanted to go with the Mack truck, while Mater wanted to drive the whole way on the road. In the end, they hit the road together. That's why it's called Cars on the Road, otherwise it would be Cars with Mack. On the road, Mater reveals he's really scared of his sister, and right after that they run into a dino park, like a dinosaur museum. There, they see all kinds of dino exhibits, and a historian starts sharing facts about dinosaurs. Mater falls asleep and has some wild hallucinations. He imagines that he and McQueen are living in the dinosaur age and being chased by one. And check out how awesome their costumes are. They look like cavemen. A dinosaur grabs McQueen in its mouth and is about to eat him, but the world's most famous tow truck saves his best friend just in time. Right after the chase, another dinosaur shows up and a giant fight breaks out. The dino grabs McQueen again, and Mater holds him and two dinos back using his tow cable. The guy's strong. Then Mater wakes up from the hallucination. Most people laugh. McQueen doesn't get what just happened, and Mater says he actually learned a lot about dinosaurs. In the second episode, it takes on more of a horror vibe. McQueen and Mater are on the road, and Mater wants to stop at a hotel because it looks like it's going to rain. McQueen wants to keep going, but then it starts pouring. They both get soaked, and they come across a creepy, scary hotel. At the hotel entrance, they're greeted by a very strange and suspicious guy. Strange things start happening to McQueen. A creepy voice begins calling out to him. Seriously, it gave me chills. The voice keeps calling, and McQueen starts following it, walking through the hotel. As he moves down the hallway, three ghost cars come out of the paintings on the wall and begin chasing Ka-Chow. I want to highlight the shots of McQueen driving through the hotel. It turned into a really beautiful scene, with several different angles and camera movements. Then we find out the voice calling McQueen actually belongs to two creepy, possessed little girls, a clear reference to the movie The Shining. In fact, this whole episode is packed with references to that film. Soon after, McQueen panics and tries to escape, but ends up at a ghost party, and then this wild car starts chasing him again. Poor guy! He finally makes it to his room, and just as he starts to fall asleep, the alarm clock goes off. It's morning. So yeah, everything that happened was real. And we also find out that the crazy car from the beginning was actually the founder of the hotel, and also a ghost. In the third episode, Mater wants to be super fast and even fly, so they end up at a place that tests flight gear on cars and other vehicles. McQueen isn't into the idea, but Mater ends up getting these awesome jet turbines and manages to drive just as fast as McQueen. He speeds up a lot, but the turbines start to come loose, and Mater dies. Then in the afterlife, he meets another car, and they start talking. Mater says he wants to come back to life and tries to convince the other car to let him return. In the end, he goes back to his body himself, opens the door, gets in, and comes back to life. I thought that was amazing. Mater saves himself and hits the road again with McQueen. Now in the fourth episode, some jealousy starts to grow between the two. McQueen wants to have Mater all to himself, but Mater makes friends with three other cars who aren't exactly friendly. These three are obsessed with catching Bigfoot, and somehow Mater and McQueen get pulled into that mission too. McQueen isn't really into it and ends up getting left behind until a monster truck starts chasing him. It's such a cool scene. McQueen running through a dark forest, and then he gets captured. The name of the monster truck is Ivy. She tells McQueen that in her past, she was an incredible monster truck who used to put on all kinds of shows. Mater shows up to save McQueen, but he gets captured too. To escape, the two team up with Ivy to scare off the three other cars from the area. They come up with a plan. McQueen dresses up as an alien, Ivy does too, and Mater plays the role of the alien's victim. The three cars get scared and run away in a panic. In the fifth episode, Ivy, Mater, and McQueen McQueen find a circus. Ivy and Mater are super excited, but McQueen is terrified of clowns. Soon after, Ivy is called up to the stage and performs her long-dreamed-of number. She puts on a great show. Ivy ends up staying at the circus, while Mater and McQueen hit the road again. In the 6th episode of Cars on the Road, Mater talks about his love for trucks and how he's always wanted to be one of them. While driving, they come across a truck stop full of trucks. McQueen goes into the gift shop while Mater stays outside with the trucks, who start singing and dancing. Even the Pizza Planet truck makes an appearance. There it is! In episode 7, the two stumble onto a movie set where a film is being shot. The producers recognize McQueen and give him a role. He's thrilled. McQueen steps on set and only has one line, but he struggles to deliver it the way the director wants. Over 30 takes later, he finally gets it right. Meanwhile, backstage, Mater finds a giant brain prop and starts joking around with McQueen. The film crew loves it and invites Mater to star in the film too. Mater starts standing out more and more. Everyone loves him, and he keeps getting more roles. He even plays the president at one point. McQueen starts getting jealous and angry about Mater's success. In the end, the movie gets canceled. Both of them lose their roles, and Ivy, who was discovered at the circus, gets hired to star in a musical film. In the 8th episode of Cars on the Road, McQueen and Mater are annoyed with each other, arguing over silly things. Then, a creepy ice cream truck and a bunch of weird cars show up and capture McQueen and Mater. They find themselves in a place that looks a lot like a post-apocalyptic future, very Mad Max style. This group of cars is preparing for war. The group's leader throws them into the Cone of Thunder, where they have to race through a bunch of obstacles, and whoever survives gets to join the group. But McQueen and Mater just want to get out of there. The problem is, the enemy group shows up earlier than expected. The two realize no one's paying attention to them, so they try to sneak away. But as they're slipping out, the creepy ice cream truck drags them into the battlefield anyway. During the chaos, McQueen notices something strange. The two groups are fighting, but they don't even remember why. They've completely forgotten the reason for the war. They're just fighting because they always have. So Mater and McQueen climb up on a rock and give a big peace speech, asking everyone to stop the fighting. At first, the groups ignore them and start brawling again. But McQueen and Mater escape and head to a gas station to grab a soda. And there, they realize something amazing. The speech actually worked. The two groups have made peace and are now hanging out together. In the final episode, McQueen says he wants to fly back to Radiator Springs, while Mater still wants to drive. They arrive at Mater's sister's wedding, which is taking place at a mansion. Turns out, Mater spent his childhood living in that mansion. Out of nowhere, Cruz Ramirez shows up. An awesome surprise. We also find out that the guy Mater's sister is marrying is Cruz's cousin. Cruz shares that she's opened a racing school, started an NGO, and is learning French. Then we finally meet Mater's sister. Her name is Motto. The two start arguing and decide to settle things with a competition to see who's better. The challenge goes on for a while, and Motto wins. After that, they calm down and return to the wedding. But the priest had gotten tired of waiting and left. Just when it seems like everything is ruined, Cruz Ramirez steps up and performs the ceremony. Mater gives a beautiful speech about life that really makes McQueen think. In the end, he decides not to fly home after all. He wants to take the road back with his best friend. And that's how the series ends. But here on Cine Lovers, the Cars content is just getting started. Choose your next video, and thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video right here on Cine Lovers.